Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm doing another interview. My guest today is a dancer and they've appeared in things such as The Next Step. Today Megan Caines will be joining me and she's going to be telling us more about her dance career and maybe some advice too. So please welcome Megan.
Hi, my name is Megan Caines. I'm a dancer and an actor in Toronto. I also teach dance as well, and I do lots of fitness and conditioning as well as that. So yeah, I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you so much for coming, Megan. So today I have 10 questions based on your acting and dancing career. And my first question for you is, when did you first get into dancing?
Okay, so I started dancing when I was around 13, 14. So I actually started a bit later than most people because I was a gymnast at first. So I was on the Olympic training team for gymnastics, and I did gymnastics all the way from when I was about 6 years old till when I was 13. And then I switched over to dance and I kind of went right away into the competitive dance world. I trained at a studio called Vlad's Dance Company. It's in Richmond Hill, Ontario, Canada. And yeah, I grew up training there. I did a leap year after I finished school, and then I've just been working since.
Fantastic. And how old were you when you first appeared on TV or did like your first dance competition?
Well, I started competing right away at dance when I was 14, and then I trained from kind of grade 9 until grade 12, and then when I got into grade 12 in my leap year, that's when I got an agent and I started kind of auditioning for TV and film kind of things. My first job was actually the one that I did on The Next Step. I think I was around 16, 17, like grade 11, grade 12 kind of.
Well, yeah, that sounds fantastic, and it's great obviously that you competed and been on TV. It sounds like you've kind of had loads of amazing experiences, so that's fantastic. In 2017, you appeared on The Next Step. What was that experience like?
It was great. So I actually just came on for the one episode. I was doing like a solo. I was competing against somebody else on the show. And they told me they just wanted to do an improv solo. So I kind of just went on, and it was also my first TV and film job. So I was a little bit nervous. I didn't really know what to expect. And usually like your first job you do with a group of people, but my first job was kind of just me on my own, like improving a solo. So it was a lot of fun. And Amy, the choreographer, she just said like, go out, do your thing, do your tricks, like tumble, because she knew like I had that gymnastics background. So I just went out and I did my solo a few times, and then I thought I was done, and they're like, okay, we're gonna flip, we're gonna do it all again. She's like, so try to remember what your improv was. So I was like, ah. So anyways, I tried to kind of retrace my steps, and I had to obviously do it a bunch of times for all the different types of angles. But I thought I would be doing kind of different improv every time, but she said because obviously they have to edit it together, she wanted my improv to look the same. So I was kind of put on the spot there, but it was really, really fun to just kind of get my first experience doing that. Yeah, and I had so many friends that were on The Next Step at the time, so it was fun to just be on set with them and to kind of have that as my first experience.
Yeah, it does sound really fun. And what season and episode are you in, so everybody can know?
Oh my goodness, I don't even know if I could tell you that. I know that we were at a competition and there was like, we were battling against each other. It would have been somewhere near the beginning, but I couldn't tell you the exact episode. I'm not sure. I'll have to tell you afterwards and you can put it in the description.
Yeah, 100%. I'm thinking maybe, was it at Nationals in the solo round maybe?
Yeah, I think it was. I think the girl's name is Sloane, if I'm not totally wrong. I think I was competing against her.
Okay, oh, Sloane, that was it regionals in season 1, I remember now. No, not season 1, season 4, sorry. Sloane was season 4 regionals.
Perfect, there you go.
So my next question is, do you have any advice to people who want to get into dancing?
I think that the most important thing, or most amazing thing about this dance industry is that there's honestly room for everybody. There's so many different things that you can go into that are related to dance, whether you want to dance or you want to choreograph or you want to do TV and film or you want to do theater. So just being confident in who you are and like continuing to train and evolve as the industry evolves, I think that's going to help you kind of figure that out, and just being confident in yourself, happy with yourself, knowing that even though sometimes there's those ups and downs and you're auditioning and you're not booking anything, like there is something for you. You just got to find it, and you got to keep hustling and going to those auditions, and eventually you'll find your spot.
You're 100%. That is some great advice. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing it. Is dancing something you think that you're always going to do?
1000%. I think dance will be in my life forever. I came into dance late, so I think I kind of like was playing catch up my whole competing life to try to kind of get onto the same level as everyone else. And it's kind of nice because I didn't do it since I was 2, so everything was so new and fresh, like when I was in my teenage years, like learning to dance and getting so like involved in the competitive dance scene. And I just think that it's going to be a part of me forever, whether I'm like I said, if I'm dancing, if I'm doing theater, if I'm doing TV and film, if I'm teaching. I love teaching. I love teaching little kids. That's something that I started doing over the past few years. And I just adore teaching young kids. So even when I'm older and my body doesn't want me to dance anymore, I think it's always going to be part of my life in some shape or form.
Yeah, 100%, and that's great. Obviously, that dancing is going to be in your life, hopefully forever. And I was just thinking, do you have any goals for your career in the future?
Well, I mean, like I said, this industry is amazing because there's so many different things that you can do, and that's what I love, because I find with other normal jobs that you do, it's kind of that same routine every day, where with this industry, it's amazing because I can go and I can book something and I can do TV and film for a few months, and then I can go and audition for a theater company and do theater, and then you can teach, and then you can just take time and train and do different styles. Like, there's so many different things to do, so I think it's always kind of keeping things fresh. I would love to like dance for an artist one day, or like perform at the Super Bowl and like teach around North America. And I did like Disney Zombies over the summer, and I love just like doing Disney, doing TV and film, being on set. I love that like TV and film hustle. And then also theater. I did a contract at the Stratford Festival, which is like it's like Broadway of Canada. Like, they do amazing musicals, and I had the opportunity to be in a show there, and I just loved like performing live. So I think it's kind of whichever part of my career I'm at, whether I'm at my age now or when I'm a bit older, like I think there's so many different things that I'm going to be able to do, and I'm so excited to kind of explore all the different options.
I think it's great, like you said, that you can do so many different things. You could be filming one month and then being on stage in another, and I think it's kind of great because you get different experiences and different atmospheres in all of them, and I think it's always good to explore different parts of the industry. Have you ever competed at any dance competitions?
So I haven't competed on any kind of like World of Dance So You Think type show, but I mean, I grew up competing in the dance world, so I went to like the dance awards and all those types of things, and I won different awards there. I got in the top 10 at the dance awards when you have to improv on stage live, so that was a super like nerve-wracking and exciting experience. Yeah, so I grew up competing, but I haven't done any like live kind of competition shows yet. I feel like there's a lot in America, but I feel like there's not too many like for Canadians right now, because I mean, So You Think kind of stopped in Canada now. They only have it in the States, but I would love to do like a TV competitive show one day. It's definitely on my vision board.
Yeah, it'd be great if you like appeared on TV. Also in 2017, you appeared as a dancer in Degrassi Next Class. What was that like?
Yeah, so that was my second TV and film job that I ever did. So that kind of happened closely after I did the next step, and it was really fun. It was just, we were doing a flash mob on Degrassi, and the guy was asking a girl to prom, so it was like kind of in those movies where you see those people do those elaborate promposals. So we were all part of it. There was lots of, again, I was like flipping like a maniac, and we did this huge kind of like epic promposal in one of the scenes for Degrassi. So that was super fun. It wasn't like a lot of time on set. We kind of had a few days on set. It was one episode, and we kind of did this like promposal dance number. It was super cool.
Yeah, it does sound super cool, and it's great that you got to experience that too. If you always wanted to be a dancer, I know we kind of touched on this a bit earlier.
I mean, I think when I was in gymnastics, I loved gymnastics. I loved the physical aspect of it, and I knew always from when I was little, I didn't want to do like a 9-to-5 job. I knew I wanted to do something different. I didn't know, okay, am I going to go to the Olympics for gymnastics? I didn't know. And then I switched over to dance, and I loved, like I said, how many different like opportunities there are. And I always knew that I wanted to be changing things up. So I definitely think when I started dancing, I knew that it was going to be in my life for a long time, and I didn't know necessarily how. And even now, it's like there's so many different things to do that you don't really pinpoint this is exactly where I want to be in the dance world yet. I think right now, while I'm still young, it's so nice that I can kind of dip my toes in a little bit of everything and then see what I really want to narrow my focus into. But yeah, I definitely, ever since I started dancing, I knew that it was something that I would want to be doing forever.
It's great that once you started that, you've always wanted to do it, and I think it is quite inspiring when somebody says like it's something that they want to continue doing, because it's good to find something that you love that much. Do you look up to anybody in the dance world?
Oh, there's so many different people that I adore and that I feel like have mentored me or I look up to them. I feel like one person for sure would be Jordan Clark. She trained at the studio that I grew up at in Richmond Hill. She trained at Vlad's, and I just love like, again, how versatile she is. She's an incredible dancer, and then she's also an incredible teacher and mentor, and then she has such a big presence in the TV and film industry, which I always, like, I loved doing theater. I had such an incredible time when I did that show, and now I'm kind of more in the TV and film vibe. Like, I want to kind of experience that a little bit more, so I always look up to her in that sense, because I think she has done so many different things in her career, and she's just so well respected. Like, everyone, as soon as you mention Jordan, it's like, oh my gosh, I love Jordan. She has done so many different things in her career, and she's just so well respected. Like, everyone, as soon as you mention Jordan, it's like, oh my gosh, I love Jordan. She's the best. Like, she just has such an incredible like rep, and everyone loves her, and I just think that she's someone I definitely look up to.
And obviously I watched her on The Next Step, so like I can say I look up to her in some ways too, because I'm at, like, it would be like crazy if I could do like her spider walk or something.
Oh my gosh.
What has been the best moment in your career so far?
Oh, like, for me in my brain, I have a top 3 of like my top 3 favorite career moments so far. I can't even pick which one is better yet, because they were all so different. So I'm going to give you all 3. So my first was, I did a show. It was an off-Broadway show. They had it going in Broadway, and then they did a tour of it, and it was The Illusionist, and it was a magic show. So we had an audition in Toronto, and they auditioned like all these different like men and women to be the magician assistants. And I thought, like, at first, like, to my agent, well, this isn't really dance, like, I don't know if I want to do it. And he was like, just go, like, it's something different. So they ended up hiring me and 2 other boys to be the magician assistants, and it was just the coolest experience. I got to learn all the different kind of like tricks that they do, and I would be in the box and they would shoot arrows at my head. Like, it was just a thrilling, crazy experience. So, and it was so different. It wasn't what I was familiar with. I wasn't like, okay, I know what I'm doing, this is amazing, I'm dancing, good. Like, it was all these new things, so I was on my toes, and it was super, super cool experience. I'll never forget it. Then my second career favorite moment so far was when I went to the Stratford Festival. So I was in a theater company for, it was like almost a year contract. It was like 9-10 months, and we did the same show the whole year, and we rehearsed, and I lived there. It was my first time living on my own, and there was just so many cool things. It was right after I came out of high school, so it was nice because it kind of kept me structured. They had different ballet classes, singing lessons, they had voice classes, acting classes, all these different kind of venues that you could train doing. We were doing like 4 or 5 shows a week. It was just incredible. I was surrounded by so many incredible people, talented, like singers, dancers, actors. It was just like, my eyes were wide open, and I couldn't believe what I was experiencing there. It was an incredible, incredible experience. And then my third one would be when I did Disney Zombies this past summer. It was just so fun, because a lot of the other TV and film jobs that I've done, it's been like 1 episode or like 2 episodes here and there kind of thing for different types of shows. And this was the first time I worked on like a movie, and just kind of building that community between the actors and the dancers. Like, we were rehearsing for a month together nonstop. Like, I saw those people more than I saw my family, and then going on set for like another month and a half, and it was amazing for that job because we were on set every single day. Like, I think there was like 30 something days of filming, and I was on set for like 32 of the days. Like we were on set pretty much every single day. And it was just amazing to kind of like build that community and dance on television, which is so different than when you are dancing live, because you don't have that kind of energy. So you're kind of pulling that motivation from inside of you, because you're doing these takes over and over and over and over again, but you're not getting that like instant like gratitude kind of thing like you do when you're performing live. So it was just a cool experience, and I loved just doing the movie because it was so different than a TV show. Like, it felt like this is my everyday thing, and you feel so a part of it. And even when you watch the movie, it's like, oh my gosh, I remember that set, like, oh, we danced there. Like, you remember all the little memories from every single day when you were filming, and it was just a super, super cool experience. I loved being a part of the Zombies movie.
Yeah, so those three experiences sound incredible, and yeah, it's great, obviously, again, that you got to experience all of them, especially that magician one. It sounds so different. Like,
oh, so cool.
Yeah, exactly, and it's like not many people would get to experience that, so that sounds super cool. So I have one more question for you, and this is a really fun question to kind of finish the interview, and it is, do you have any dance stories?
Okay, I actually have a funny story from actually when I auditioned for Stratford. So when I did my show, so this was right when I came out of competition life, like I said. So I was used to kind of, dance was all I knew. I didn't sing, I didn't really act yet. I was very much just dance 100% of the time. So I went to this audition and it was a dance call. So I figured like, okay, we're just gonna be dancing. But little did I know that usually when you audition for a theater dance call, you might be asked to stay and sing. But I figured, okay, if I make the dance call, they'll bring me back in a few days and then I can sing like a few days. But no. So anyways, we did the dance call and she asked, like, there were so many people there. There were at least like 150 people there. And she asked like 20 of us to stay and sing. So I was like, oh my goodness, like, what am I gonna sing? I was nervous. I never sang in front of anyone besides like just singing by myself in my shower. So I was getting all nervous. I picked a song. I decided, okay, I'm gonna sing. And I'm standing, I walk in, and you could tell I was nervous. I didn't know what I was doing. And I just kind of stood there, and I stood like 3 feet in front of her, and I started singing, and the director goes, whoa, wait, stop. She's like, have you ever done this before? And I was like, no, like, this is my first time. And she was like, oh my goodness, this is hilarious. She goes, usually when you do a singing audition, you go to the back of the room and like you look over our heads and you project and sing outwards. Getting all nervous, I picked a song. I decided, okay, I'm gonna sing. And I'm standing, I walk in, and you could tell I was nervous. I didn't know what I was doing. And I just kind of stood there, and I stood like 3 feet in front of her, and I started singing, and the director goes, whoa, wait, stop. She's like, have you ever done this before? And I was like, no, like, this is my first time. And she was like, oh my goodness, this is hilarious. She goes, usually when you do a singing audition, you go to the back of the room and like you look over our heads and you project and sing outwards. Meanwhile, I walked in, I stood right in front of her table, and I was looking into her eyes, like singing my little song, and she was just like, I know this girl just has not done this before. So anyways, she goes, okay, you're gonna take singing lessons, and then you're gonna come back and we want to hear you sing again. So I ended up going and I did my singing lessons, and I came back and she thought I improved a lot, and then a few months later I ended up booking the job. But it was just crazy because I just went into it like just little Megan out of high school, went in and started singing, and now I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing, because everybody knows now when you do a singing call, you go to the back of the room and that's how you sing. And I stood right in front of her and I just like looked in her eyes like I was singing her song, and it was hilarious. I'll never forget it.
Yeah, that's such a funny dance story, dance one kind of singing story too. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing it. And yeah, that is the end of the interview, and I'm really grateful for you coming on and spending your time and coming here. So thank you so much, Megan.
Thank you for having me. This was so fun.
You're most welcome. And also thank you to everybody who watched this video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week for another interview. Bye guys.